You chillin'? That's what's up. Doing you. I miss you, man. I love you, man. If you ride with me, that's okay, that's on me. You can be yourself, you ain't gotta lie to me. I could come and slide you, I could be your pilot. We gon' live like we're never gonna see. A roadside, chillin' on the mountaintop. We just wanna jog ride, we only live one life. A lot of niggas terrified, don't wanna live a lie. Oh yeah, if you wanna ride, that's okay, that's on me. I got this feeling that my dreams will never come unless I chase it. I've been feeling hella lazy, need to push up on myself. Guilty conscience keep me waiting on some help. Basically, I had insecurities. Mentally, I was killing myself. Constantly running from my memory. Apparently, I was dealing with anxiety. Like, what is this inside of me? How do I identify it? Gotta get it out of me. I just wanna be free. If you ride with me, that's okay, that's on me. You can be yourself, you ain't gotta lie to me. I could come and slide you, I could be your pilot. We gon' live like we're never gonna see. A roadside, chillin' on the mountaintop. We just wanna jog ride, we only live one life. A lot of niggas terrified, don't wanna live a lie. Oh yeah, if you wanna ride, that's okay, that's on me. Rest assured, I'ma be an entrepreneur. I can feel it all in my bones. You can smell it like cologne. I thank God for never letting go. I'm in the studio, getting ready for the radio. Every day I'm always making sure that I'ma work towards my goals. I just wanna make sure I'm on focus. I don't wanna be homeless again. I like a cash flow in a back row with a love bug and a lot of hugs. I've been done wrong since I was young. And it's crazy, cause that's all I really want. If you ride with me, that's okay, that's on me. You can be yourself, you ain't gotta lie to me. I could come and slide you, I could be your pilot. We gon' live like we're never gonna see. A roadside, chillin' on the mountaintop. We just wanna jog ride, we only live one life. A lot of niggas terrified, don't wanna live a lie. Yeah, if you wanna ride, that's okay, that's on me. That's all I really want, chillin' on the mountaintop. That's all I really want. What's up, cuzzo? Where you at? You chillin'? That's what's up. Doing you. I miss you, man. I love you, man. If you ride with me, that's okay, that's on me. You can be yourself, you ain't gotta lie to me. I could come and slide you, I could be your pilot. We gon' live like we're never gonna see. A roadside, chillin' on the mountaintop. We just wanna jog ride, we only live one life. A lot of niggas terrified, don't wanna live a lie. Oh yeah, if you wanna ride, that's okay, that's on me. I got this feeling that my dreams will never come unless I chase it. I've been feeling hella lazy, need to push up on myself. Guilty conscience keep me waiting on some help. Basically, I had insecurities. Mentally, I was killing myself. Constantly running from my memory. Apparently, I was dealing with anxiety. Like, what is this inside of me? How do I identify it? Gotta get it out of me. I just wanna be free. If you ride with me, that's okay, that's on me. You can be yourself, you ain't gotta lie to me. I could come and slide you, I could be your pilot. We gon' live like we're never gonna see. A roadside, chillin' on the mountaintop. We just wanna jog ride, we only live one life. A lot of niggas terrified, don't wanna live a lie. Oh yeah, if you wanna ride, that's okay, that's on me. Rest assured, I'ma be an entrepreneur. I can feel it all in my bones. You can smell it like cologne. I thank God for never letting go. I'm in the studio, getting ready for the radio. Every day I'm always making sure that I'ma work towards my goals. I just wanna make sure I'm on focus. I don't wanna be homeless again. I like a cash flow in a back row with a love bug and a lot of hugs. I've been done wrong since I was young. And it's crazy, cause that's all I really want. If you ride with me, that's okay, that's on me. You can be yourself, you ain't gotta lie to me. I could come and slide you, I could be your pilot. We gon' live like we're never gonna see. A roadside, chillin' on the mountaintop. We just wanna jump.
How are ya? Oh gosh, guys, we have our Monday momentums here. Let me see who all we got up in the live. Oh gosh, I am so excited for this week. We have so much to go over. And I want to know, how are you guys liking your journals? Let me get my stuff pulled up. Are y'all liking your bee journals? I am loving the bee journals, and I've been loving to see how you guys have been using them. And so let me get it up for those of y'all who haven't grabbed it, because y'all know y'all can grab it at any time now. And this one, Dr. Christy and I put together. And so if you need the bee journal, make sure that you click right here on the website, right here, so you can get your Be Well journal. Hi, Amira. Hi, Erica. Hi, Amaraj. How are you guys? We've been learning so much from Dr. Christy. One of the things that I have been very appreciative of is understanding how we're supposed to be pausing, and what that pause looks like. One of the ways that we've seen pausing work in the past is being frozen. But I really believe that Dr. Christy has done such a great job of showing us what pause looks like in real time, so that as we're going through and as we are in this job search, especially during times of crisis, that we understand how to do so in a way that's healthy for us mentally, and as well as proactive for us on our overall job search, and in our overall mental health. So I think that part has been one of the most inspiring parts. And that was one of the parts that I really want to make sure that we fleshed out within our journal. Ashley, you gonna put it at work, girl. You better use them papers. Okay, you better use them papers. Okay, let me make sure for those of y'all who have not got the journal, y'all are tripping with no luggage. Dr. Chrissy, I see she joined us. Look, y'all, the ones y'all who have not used it, let me show y'all. Okay, Ashley, let them know, right? It is a 30-day mental health reset. We go over avoiding sabotage, right? Here goes her pause, plan, and pivot. And we have given you guided prompts so that as you go through it, you understand what to write about. And writing is such a therapeutic way to kind of deal with stress, right? This is how you pause. You can pause and journal. Pause does not mean, remember Dr. Christy told us last week, pause doesn't mean that we did, right? We ain't pausing. It's not RIP, right? It's not, RIP. It's rest, rest and pause, not rest and peace, y'all, right? So we have to make sure that whatever our limiting beliefs, are you ready to let go of them? This has been so good. Ashley, I'm telling you, I've been enjoying mine. How can I tap into more confidence with taking inspired actions? Okay. This was such a good, yep. Y'all see, y'all got affirmations. Okay. Okay. Y'all know, put them in y'all journal, write them down. Oh, you're welcome, Ashley. I like to play around with my colors in Canva. It is such a beautiful journey. It is. It is such a beautiful one. Now, I was speaking with Dr. Christy earlier today, and we were talking about how can we make sure in this week 4 that we're wrapping up in, especially since class starts for you guys next Tuesday. And this is where mind meets momentum, right? We've been learning how to reset. We learned how to pause. We have our journals. We're learning about regulating our thoughts. We're learning about resetting emotionally. We're learning about how not to spiral, right? And now we're going to be talking about that action portion that we discussed. Intention, how to move forward with intention, even when things are uncertain. Remember, we talked about faith and what faith means. Right? Forward action and trusting him. Let me get y'all a little faith situation together. Right? Let me, there we go. Right? Forward action and trusting him. And we want to talk about how to align that action without getting burned out, because I know that's one of our biggest issues. The power of planning under pressure. What does that look like? Right? Because many times when we are thinking about doing something next and the big old pile of things are in front of us, right? Because the word overwhelm, what I have learned from some of the fancy black psychologists I be speaking to, is that overwhelm is different than anxiety. The definition of anxiety is uncomfortability for a long period of time with no end in sight. Okay, I'll say that again. Anxiety is uncomfortability, uncertainty, right? When you don't know what's going to come next for a long period of time with no end in sight. I want y'all to think about, I don't know, what was Rihanna's man name? Was it Offset? Oh, I'll be confusing them. Remember how he had his trial case coming up, right? Let's think of OJ Simpson. This is what I could do. OJ Simpson, remember when he had his trial coming up? And you going back to court, you going back to court, you're going back to court. You don't know what the answer going to be. You don't know what the verdict's going to be. You don't know if they're going to switch up the court dates. You don't know if they're going to prolong it. That's anxiety. It's uncertainty. We don't know when it's going to end, right? And you're in a state of uncertainty and you do not know when it's going to end and you've been in it for a while. That's anxiety. Now, when we think of the feeling of overwhelmed, which usually happens when we're planning, anxiety and overwhelm, two different things. Words have meaning and power. When we're thinking of overwhelmed, I want you guys to think of a pile of clothes. ASAP Rocky. Thank you, Ellie. When we think of the word overwhelmed, I want you guys to think of a pile of clothes. Overwhelmed is when you have a lot of things you got to do right now. So imagine a pile of clothes. That's what overwhelmed is. That's what that looks like, right? That's when you have this. And so when we go into planning, a lot of times our mind plays tricks on us, right? And our feelings do too. Dr. Chrissy taught us that feelings can make us foolish, right? And we may think that we're dealing with anxiety. We're like, oh my God, I'm so anxious. When actually, you could be in a state of anxiety, but what you may feel is overwhelmed. And that feeling is coming from your mind telling you that, oh, I got to do all these different things at one time. Whereas the literal act of planning will not only reduce your anxiety, but reduce the feeling of overwhelmed. Why, Amundsen? The reason why is because, remember, overwhelmed is a bunch of things to do at once. Once you have been able to plan out what to do next, there's no anxiety here, right? That's like having a pile of dirty clothes. Once you separate it, you feel me? You got your darks, you got your lights, you got your whites, you got your sheets, you got your towels, right? We all black folks, we separate that shit over here. Once you separate all that stuff, you now know how many loads of laundry you got to do, right? We can now start a little, I call it the forward train. We can start an assembly line because when one clothes is washing, then drying. Once they dry, you could be folding while something else is washing. So just like planning, you now know, okay, first I need to get my resume done. Then I need to do X, Y, and Z. Instead of the big concept of, I got to find a new job. That's overwhelming because you think that you got to do everything at once. Your mind is telling you and your body is telling you that you got to do your resume, your LinkedIn, you got to prep for interviews, you got to do your career coaching, you got to know what career you got to get into, your bills is due. So everything is piled, right? The actual act of planning is what actually reduces your overwhelmed feeling, number one, and the uncertainty is not there. You're going to have a lot more certain points. Now, is it certain when you get a job? No, but you have some certainty within that planning. Okay, I know I'm going to have my resume done by this day. Okay, cool. That reduces. I didn't say get rid of. I said reduces. So instead of you think you got everything due right now, you don't know when you're going to get it done. What is the next step? That actual act of planning is what helps you there. So we'll be talking about that. Y'all see, I got my notes today. I told you I've been in Python baddie. I've been a tech baddie lately. So we're going to be talking about how to move forward with that intention, what that clarity and strategy does. And that's where the clarity comes from, right? And those tools to help you move forward. So that power of planning under pressure and how to do it well. What to do when fear is still present, but so is your purpose, and how to protect your peace while staying productive, right? That's really what that process is how do we take that first step, put that pen to paper? How do we get there from where we're at, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to put on the screen. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Planning under pressure. I want to know which one is the. Oh no, I can't do it no more. I want you guys to answer in the comments. What do you guys think is harder for you? Do you think it's planning under pressure? Right? So that I'm about to put Dr. Chrissy on right now. Planning under pressure. Do you feel like that's hard, or do you feel like protecting your peace during productivity? Which one's harder? Protecting your peace or planning under pressure? Which one? Which one? And while y'all going, hi, Dr. Christy. Let me add you in. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Oh, I love when your hair is so curly.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, you guys, I turned 51 on Friday.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
and and though, I was so excited years prior, like maybe 45, 46, I knew 50 was coming. I was so excited about it. I was like, because I know I still look good and I'm 50. And then my daughter surprised me. Boom, you're going to be a grandmother at 50. What? So now I'm not only going to look good, I'm also going to have the title grandmother, and I'm just going to be doing all the things at 50, right? So I was like so ready, so excited. And then 50 came, guys. Bam, just like that. Talk about some premenopausal, talk about hair thinning, so usually all my life I've worn my hair straight. And I've been trying new things, and I'm loving the curls too. Sin, loving the curls. Can we? What topic are we gonna discuss first? I see one on YouTube said "Protect and Peace"? What we looking like over there on Facebook? Let me
Let
open
me
up the
see.
Facebook. Look, I'm gonna do like you, Sin. I'm gonna do like you. I don't have no iPad, but I'm about to, open up my phone.
Let's see. Let me see. Okay, let me see. So a cuz our resume writer, he said planning under pressure. Oh, I know, cause cause don't be embarrassing me, making it seem like I be pressuring you. Don't be embarrassing me. Why you do that, cuz? Don't be that hard on y'all. Damn. Okay. Eva said planning under pressure. Victoria said happy birthday.
Thank you. I had such a wonderful weekend, just like admin Sin. Look, see, that's what let's talk about. That's why you have to have a good circle, right? That's why you have to have good leaders in your life. Iron sharpening iron. She took her little break away last Monday. I took the whole weekend, guys. On Friday, I shut it down. I said, I'm off the grid. I'm about to celebrate me. I mean, how you gonna have a birthday on a Friday and not do that? Just got paid Friday night.
Oh, you was in there. Alicia said, welcome to the Fab 50. Okay,
yes,
now.
yes. 51. I turned 51 on Friday. So, but yeah, when 50 came last year, I was like, what had happened? Like, I didn't know. And you guys, I don't get sick. I don't get sick. I've been saying that since I was a kid. I don't get sick. So literally, I don't get sick because I've been saying it. See, remember, that's why I tell you, your words are powerful. So I don't get sick. So when pre-menopause stuff started happening, I was like, my body's not acting the same. And I'm like, so people, when they get sick, they know how to respond to that. I don't know how to respond to that because my body does what I tell it to do. But it wasn't doing what I was saying. Different stuff was happening. But we got it together. I got my body together, got my words together, got my mind together when it comes to this phase in life. And we still gonna, enjoy my Fab 50.
I love it. You know what? I love when women accept aging gracefully. I think that's something that we don't really discuss or talk about a lot. I had to go to the dermatologist last year, like in September, because as you guys see, I have very deep lines and things like that. I have a Black dermatologist, of course, and she's in the Hive. And she said, well, you know what, Admin Sin, you do the amount of teaching a teacher would do, and not for someone your age. And she was like, so She was like, if you wanted to, she was like, if you want technical terms, you know, because as I can see, I have all my wrinkles here. She said, technically, your face has aged as if you're about 45, 50 years old. She was like,
Okay.
but that does not have to be a bad thing for you. The only, and I was like, you don't think Botox? You don't want to put a little Botox? She's like, oh no, those are too deep, man. You're past Botox. We're at acceptance or a facelift. I said, you know what? You know, it's not that bad. You know, it might be trendy in 2 years anyway.
Look, I don't see what she's saying, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
You know what's so funny? It's my mama. My mama was like, "Ooh, you got more wrinkles than me." Ooh, and I said,
Mom, you're supposed to be encouraging, not trying to throw me up under the bus.
You know, and she gonna put in our group chat, our family group chat. See, that's why I don't do the Facebook lives like she does.
But then I saw her on a live. I saw
you
her
already saw
speaking, right?
If I'm Asian, she will be too. I tell you that much. But it was beautiful to have, you know, a Black woman kind of like see it from that perspective. And I was like, you know what? She's absolutely right. Like, I definitely will say that if I got wrinkles because I've been helping bees for the past few years, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I had, like I said, probably when I turned 40, I was like, ooh, 10 more years, 50 is right around the corner. I've always been excited about it. I don't know why. I think I like the number. You know, it just sounds like I'm halfway to 100, which I will be. And so, yeah, I've always been excited about it, you know, and my mother always talks about how good she looks at her age. So I'm a figure I'm going in that path, right? But there were just some things that surprised me that I knew were coming, but just like pregnant, you know, you ask people about birth, you read about birth. Your experience may be different than everything you've seen, heard, talked about, somebody told you. Your experience is your experience. So my experience when this premenopause stuff hit was like, whoa, okay. Like, I don't perspire, guys. I never have. I was in the military. I exercise like crazy. I run, hike for the purposes of the military with rucksacks on my back, 50 pounds, you know. So I've done all the things. I walked away from the military. Some of my peers, feet messed up, back messed up. I don't have none of that stuff. I don't do that. I don't do that. So when my body was doing new stuff, I was like, wait a second. Okay, 50. Okay. And I always say God will make you laugh because, you know, he's a comedian too. Anything that we do, he can do better. So he had Christy laughing. Well, he was probably laughing at me like, you thought it was just going to be a smooth sailing. No, I need you to experience some things through this season in your life. You know, all the flavor that you got with the seasonings with the 51 years. We at 50, we got to experience some new things. So, like I said, I used to wear my hair straight all the time. So I've been trying so many new things because I don't want to, you know, continue to over process my hair because, you know, as you get older, things, your texture changes, it's thinning, all kind of different things can happen. My story don't have to be your story. You know, you could speak something different for your life, but that's just what happened to me. Yeah. So I never ever had braids. I had braids. I had, sew-in. I did the natural. All I did is did some twists, wash it, and kept it wet and twist. So I've been trying all new things, guys. I'm telling you, at 50, for the first time, I'm trying all these new things. And you may say, how does this woman have never had braids? How is this woman have never tried all these other things? I never used gel. You know, how you swoop it down and stuff. I never did all that stuff because I grew up with a Latin mom, guys. And back in my day, we didn't have YouTube to learn how to do these things. So we was all doing everything trial by error. She was doing my hair the closest she could to her hair. And so it's all been fun. I've been enjoying the journey. And braids, oh, that's like a break. I don't have to do nothing. Just leave them in and let it go. Let it ride. So yeah.
You see, I'm 10 years into my lock game. I love it. Can't wait. press straightening her hair on Saturdays and just get a light blow dry because of the hair changes with ages. She just applies some dry oil on her forehead because
Yeah.
of the wrinkles before watching this. Look at that, K-Way. Okay, I
Yes.
get you, girl. Yeah,
Yes.
that's all you need.
And my
You know,
son, like you said, Sin, I've been learning all of these things, and my son decided he wanted locks, so we doing that, and so it's a lot of learning still going on. We're not never too old to stop learning.
and experiencing, because I'm sure it's
Mhm.
so much fun doing new stuff with your hair.
Yes. Oh yes. And then it took me a minute looking in the mirror, like, who is that girl? Okay, all right. When I got the sew in, I'm like, okay. I've always had longer length hair, but the sew in took it even longer. I was like, watch out now, Beyonce. Okay.
All right, Dr. Quincy. So the number one answer will be planning under pressure, followed by protecting my peace. So I'm gonna let you get started.
Okay.
Go ahead, girl. I'm taking my notes too.
Okay, so planning under pressure, and then we'll go into protecting my peace. And I have a couple other topics as well, like dealing with burning out, aligning your actions with burning out, and if you still having fear, if you still have fear present. So first topic that you guys said that won the raffle was the power of planning under pressure and how to do it well. I love the example that's learned from a psychologist about the difference between anxiety and being overwhelmed, and just how she gave the example of a laundry load, right? If you're overwhelmed, how you have to just plan that out and it's smooth sailing. It's just you have a lot of things and you're thinking about how am I going to get them all done in the proper time management and things of that nature. But yes, so we are going to talk about the power of planning under pressure and how to do it well, just like you're going to do that laundry load, right? Well, we've already talked about, and you guys know to pause, right? We're going to pause, we're going to plan, and we're going to pivot. So that's still the first step. We're still pausing before we plan because you need to take in whatever it is that you're feeling. We said your feelings will fool you, but we're not going to deny the fact that we do have feelings, okay? So when you start to feel like, okay, the pressure is on, and if you're at a job or lost the job or not, work feeling that pressure of how do I plan this out in order to step into the next job, or when I'm at work, how do I plan out all these different assignments that I've been given? Your first thing you're going to do is pause. And I always like to tell myself, if tomorrow I fall down the stairs and have to go to the hospital, then do x-rays and they're going to put a cast on and all those things, all the process of that thing, work is going to have to figure it out. Period. It's not, because we always tend to think and look at life and look at our job and look at our families like if we're not there, the boat won't keep going, right? But it will keep going. It's not going to keep going as it would if you were there, because they can't outdo us the way that we do it, right? But it still will go on. The same way that when my husband used to watch my daughter as an infant, and I would be like, oh my God, what is he doing? When I would get home, I was like, you had her in that baby carrier while you were at your desk all day? She was warm and cozy. He was like, yeah, she slept. He felt like he had done something good. I'm like, no, because I've been at work all day and now I come home and the child is not going to want to go to sleep. She's going to be wide awake all night. So I've worked all day and now I got to work all night with her. No, no, no. That's not how you do it. You don't let her sleep all day so you don't have to really care for her. You just held her all day, right? So that you have to look at your job or the lack thereof employment at this current time, or that when it comes to planning and pressure, you have to look at it that way it was as well. Okay, you have to say, okay, how are we going to do this? What is it that we want? Sometimes you might say, I have to get another job. Well, yes, you do need another job, right? Because you need pay, you need to take care of things for the household. But Don't say, I have to get a job. I have to hurry up and get a job. No, let me plan this out. Let me pause. Let me plan this out so that it all works out for the best, the better when I do end up getting hired. Let me plan out what it is that I would like to do. When we first moved back to the States from us being in Germany for 14 years, and I was pregnant with my son, a couple years after that, I was like, okay, I'm ready to get back out there. I did not know how to be a stay-at-home mom. I grew up with a single mother who worked, right? And she didn't work, weekends and things like that, but she worked a 9 to 5 throughout the entire time that I lived at home with her. So that's what I knew how to do. My husband was like, oh, just take some time off. You're having a baby. I said, I had Kara and I continue working. What are you talking about? And I told him, that's not who I am. And so he realized that, and he whatever you want to do. So when Champ was of age and going to preschool and then about to start kindergarten, I was like, okay, I'm out of here now. Because in between that time, I was like, okay, I was at Fry's stocking at night because I had to get out. Then I was like, no, that's not going to work because I'm tired. I can't take care of the baby during the day once again because I'm up all night. See, that wasn't very planned out by me. I just wanted to get out of the house, right? Because I didn't know how to stay inside. But when Champ went to kindergarten now, I thought about it. I planned it out. I prayed about it. And literally, I'm telling you exactly what I did. I'm telling you what I did. Everybody's situation and story is different. What I did is I prayed and I said, okay, Lord, check it out. You know me. I do not want to work shift work. I do not want to work on the weekends. I need to be available for my children because my husband travels. I need to be local. I don't want to drive for long distances to get to work and have all this traffic coming back and things like that. So tell me where to go. I went to sleep just like Jesus did on the boat when the waves were going. I went to sleep. And when I woke up, all that was in my thoughts was Kyrene School District, which is the school district in the area where I live. And I went online and I pushed in Kyrene School District and I started looking at the different things they had available. They had one position available and they were talking about, being the secretary of the school, responsible for payroll, this. I was like, I do not want to do all that. I want to go and I do not want to take work home with me. I just want to go. This was a temporary something that I wanted to do so while my kids were still young, right? And while my husband was out building the company, right? And so I paused and I planned this out. I prayed and I said, okay, what is it? What is it? Give me, I said everything I didn't want. So make yourself a list, things you do want, things you don't want. Right? Like have that list for yourselves, do's and don'ts, pros and cons. And I found the perfect job for me. And I had my son come to the school where I worked. So now, it was just so smooth sailing. So pause, people, pause. And I know that, you're anxious to get back in the workforce because you're anxious to have the salary to be able to provide for your family and do bigger and better things, all the things. But if you just pause and give yourself a moment, the plan will play itself a better way. Like the music will tune itself into a better song, right? You want the Grammy.
Yeah.
You don't just want to you don't want to just make some quick money. You want the best for yourself.
Yes. And K-Way, I definitely understand. The pausing is uncomfortable for even me. So my pausing looks like journaling, right? So
you said your pausing looks like what?
Like journaling.
Okay.
I would have to, like you said, like how you talked about creating a list of the things that you don't want.
Yes.
I sometimes I get them out of my head, K-Way, right? Because I do equate productivity to the tradition of being busy, and I like to be busy. I absolutely do. And another thing that has helped me in pausing is that pausing doesn't mean you're dead. You're not pausing on all of life. You're pausing on that subject, right? So sometimes what I'll do is I may pause a project I'm working on and begin another one.
Yes.
Example.
Exactly.
You know what? I've been wanting to try that new recipe on YouTube anyway. Fuck all this shit. And I'm gonna go to Target. No more. Now I'm out. No more Walmart neither. I'm gonna go to Fry's, and I'm gonna sit there with my list, and I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm about to give me a recipe, and I'm gonna go ahead and make me something new. And that creative process, yeah, you know how we talk about the brain being both creative and logical. What a lot of
Yes.
people don't talk about is that the logic side feeds from the creative side, and the creative
Yes.
side feeds from the logistical side. So
Yes.
pausing my logic to be into creative helps me because
Yes.
although I'm creating a meal, I still got to have steps, but it allows my brain to kind of expand and give a rest from this high pressure situation. And quite honestly, I could cook from anywhere in the world because of this. So what I would do is pause
Yes.
one project, right? So pause what's the biggest thing that's in your mind right now. And it's not that you are, I do something that has a time lapse, like cooking a meal and saying, okay, I'm gonna do this the next day, because it's not avoidant if you're putting it on a situation type a space, right? I'm just putting this on pause till tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go ahead and
Exactly.
create me a meal, wind down, and do things a little bit differently.
Yes.
Oh,
Most.
wait, thank you. Yes, journaling definitely helps. And I will, you know what? Journaling sometimes for me, it seemed like a big word for Elmo. One way that I will journal is I will take everything out of my pantry and I will pen and paper write down everything I have in my pantry. I don't know. Cooking is my love language. So I will take, when I say gut out my pantry, you would think that I live with a family of seven because I have a walk in pantry that's filled to the max. And I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to organize this anyway. And I'm
Yes.
sitting there, okay, this expired. This, you know what? Now that I have all these things, let me throw all these ingredients into Google, see what meal come up. Girl, the other day I had ended up making me some Chinese, what was it? No, it was Japanese honey glazed steak strips over a bed of sesame seed rice with sesame oil. And I made me some broccoli and asparagus and some carrots and had a bunch of people over and we ate. And so in that, of course, you're having conversation. What you working on? What you working on? And I was able to say, hey, I'm working on this project right now. I got to figure out how to get this DEI workshop together. I just don't know how I could do it, you know, in the on space, in person space, because I've been doing it online for so long. And now I have people throwing out ideas. I'm still not planning. I'm in the pause, right? But a
Mhm.
pause doesn't mean that I can't grow and expand. So
Yes.
that's my version of it. I don't know. What would you say, Dr. Christie? That's what I do.
Exactly. Everybody, like we said, you have to. That's why another part of be mindful when we get together for those 6 weeks. It's one of the topics that I'm going to be sharing with you guys or talking with you guys about is knowing yourself, right? Because that's very important when it comes to being productive. You got to know what it is that you like to do. Just how Sin knows that she likes to journal, or she knows how that she likes to cook, or that she likes to organize, so you have to know yourself to be able to know the activities that are going to bring you some relaxation, and the activities that kind of give you a little bit, feeling of overwhelming, or overwhelm versus anxiety. But yeah, you have to know yourself to be able to know what those different things are. So yeah, I totally agree. And when I read Kayway said the tradition of being busy and equating productivity to running around doing random tasks. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say. I just happened to read that, but being busy is not necessarily being productive, right? Being busy doesn't being productive. Just like the honeys, just the bee is being busy but productive, picking productive assignments and to productive order to create. B is not just, flapping all over the place with no goal in mind. So when you are pausing, pausing is a part of the process, right? Pausing is not productive. Pausing is being productive because in the pause, you're allowing yourself to relax, just like Admin Sin said about the productive coming alongside of the what was the word you said? Productive
Creative,
and what? Creative,
creative.
right? Exactly. The productive and the creative are helping each other out. So while you're pausing in order to be productive. So it's okay. I was sitting home with my son and I was like, I can't, this is not working. This is not working for me. Now I didn't plan it out. I didn't plan it out long term, but I was giving myself do in that time of eek, just sit here, right? But you want to make your, and in order to be able to plan it out when the pressure's on, so that you come out with a better outcome in the long term, right? You want to come out with the best outcome in the long term.
I'll tell you guys one other thing that I did. When my dad passed away, it was a lot for me. It was a lot for me. I leaned on my daddy very heavily when it came to all aspects of my life. I am a daddy's girl through and through. But when he passed in September of 2023, one thing that I immediately started doing was I gardened. I realized that, hey, you know what? I ain't doing shit with this backyard and I need to do something soon. Okay. And so what I did was I just went to Home Depot. I got a whole bunch of plants and I gardened. It allowed me to not only reset my energy, but reset my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And it allowed me to feel accomplished. In my pause for me, K Way, I'm not for sure if you're that type of person. I know a lot of people are. For me, I don't like the feeling of not being accomplished, right? And so with my dad dying, you're in a space of grief to where you know there's nothing you can do, right? So a job loss is a form of grief. And grief, you have to understand the terminology of welcoming despair. And those are two separate words, right? Despair means that there's nothing that can be done. It's a complete loss of hope, right? The welcoming part is where you still can get joy. Joy and grief can live together. A lot of people don't like to talk about that, but joy and grief lives together. So welcoming despair is me when is joy and grief. The joy is the welcome. And so the way that I welcomed despair was by gardening. That's what I did. I got a dog and I gardened. It allowed me to understand that things die and things come back alive. It allowed me to see my pain turn into something that was pretty, right? We have flowers everywhere. It allowed me to be frustrated and to take my anger out on shit because sometimes the ground is hard as hell out here in Arizona, clay ground. Okay, so it allowed me to do that. It allowed me to feel as though I did something. At the end of the gardening season in 2023, I had 100 things planted. And you know what? My mama and daddy and everybody, not my daddy, but my mama, my sisters and stuff, they were just like, you know what? She could have did drugs. Okay. So what's the worst that happened? She got 16 watermelon. Okay. Well, who gives a fuck? The worst that I could have been doing drugs. Okay. So
You know what?
I didn't.
You know what? And somebody with your personality, Sin, like how we talked that first time when I came over to your house, the first time that we did this Be Mindful, this Monday Momentum, I should say. Someone with your personality would love to do something new, learn something brand new, like add some more to my mind, give me some more knowledge. Somebody else,
I need a
somebody
win.
else. Yeah, but somebody else, that might just be too much. You like, what? You want me to add, you want me to learn something while all of this is going on? So, like you said, whatever it may be for that person, go do another load of laundry, something that you don't have to think about, right? Just go do it because that's second nature to do to do your laundry, or like you said, to organize the pantry or go grocery shopping. Whatever it is, just to, you that's why I said it's important to know you. Now, if you know that learning a new skill is going to add too much to your thinking, then don't add more to your plate. Just depends on you. So that's what I'm saying. That's why it's important that you have to know you. And like when I work with these few women on when it comes to the Be Mindful experience, where I get to learn them, right? I get to learn them and guys, you know what? I don't like doing such and such. I do not like that. Then why do you choose to do that when you're in a state of anxiety or a state or when you're being stressed? Okay, then that's not the thing to do. Put some music on, go for a walk. You have to learn what it is that brings your levels down, or what's the things that excite you, the things that make you smile. And just like Amundsen was like, this brought me some joy. She got joy boy, brought her joy. We brought the, like she said, those words people don't like to put grief with, right? But we put the fun back in funeral a couple of weeks ago, right? So you have to learn these things and add things to you that will build you up, especially in a different situation that you may find yourself in. And prioritize what truly matters to you. You may be saying, I need the job, I need the job. But like I said, when it came to deciding to work at the school, but what is important to you? Is the dollar amount important to you that you're going to make at the job, that you're going to earn? Or is having your time to yourself, what it is that you're doing? Is what I'm doing helping people? You have to prioritize what truly matters to you, because what matters to one may not matter to the other. Like that doesn't make any difference to me, right? I want to make sure that I'm helping people. And of course we want that dollar amount to be the best that it can be, because then that frees up so many other things in your life. But you have important to you. Dollars weren't important to Mother Teresa for Mother Teresa. Dollars were important to Mother Teresa to benefit other people, right?
Mhm.
So you guys,
Yeah,
you have to,
no, yeah,
you need
yeah,
to know what prioritize what truly matters to you. And in order to be able to prioritize it, you have to know what matters to you. Once again, back to knowing yourself, right?
yes, yes. Dr. Christie, so when we talk about protecting your peace, what does that look like in moving forward with intention? I see Esther said that going through her divorce, she needed to jumpstart her happy. So she tried everything. She learned how to ride a bike. She took up taekwondo. She took up voice training classes, took dance classes, took on rollerblading. In the words of Shakira, try everything. And you know what? Try something from I love that she put rollerblading because
Yes.
as y'all love to say, go ahead and make your inner child happy. You may have
Yes.
loved to do something when you were younger that you ain't tried in a while. For me, it was
Yes.
gardening. For you, it very well might be
Yes.
roller skating. Get 40, 50, 60, get up on
Yes.
them skates and roll, bounce. But yeah, it's
Yes.
that jump start. I love the way she put that jump starting. You're happy. You
Yes.
you may need to learn yourself again. When you lose a
Yes.
job, sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves and say that some of us have made our job our personality. We didn't separate who we was versus what we did. And so now that that job is gone, you
Yes.
don't know who you are anymore. And that's okay.
Mhm.
If you don't know who
Yes.
you are anymore, that's okay. The
Yeah.
good thing is the term neuroplasticity. Your brain can always expand and who you are continues to change. And
Yes.
so who you are is not what you do. And losing a job sometimes is that very real reality of welcoming despair that who I am and what I do is separate because what you did is gone, but who you are still lives. And so to
Yes.
jumpstart that happiness, go back to a time that you did know. If you knew that when you were younger you loved to color, go get you a coloring book. If you
Yes.
knew when you were younger that you loved to dance, turn on the music. It's okay not to know who you are right now because it will continue to expand, and who you are is exactly who you want to be. The best
Yes.
thing about knowing who you are is realizing that who you are is who you decide to be. So if
That's
you decide that today I'm going to be a Van Gogh, then girl, grab your coloring book and you can be a Van Gogh, okay? If
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
decide that today you're going to be a farmer, you want to be a gardener, you can do that. Who you are is who you decide to be. And if
Mhm.
you are like, you know what, I don't know who I am, I lost my job, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. But you know what? When I was 7 years old, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was Beyonce girl. I was Beyonce. I was the one. It was Destiny's Child. I was that child, boo. Girl, go get your cup. Turn on your Survivor song, and that's who you are today. Ain't nobody in that room with you. You could be Beyonce today.
Karaoke it in the house.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That is totally your right. And that will also help you celebrate a win. Do something easy. Do something that you love, but do something easy. It can be something to where, you know what? I have always been a homemaker. I love a clean home. I can clean this home from top to bottom. Nobody can have my home as clean as I do. If that's you, then do you. However, also remember how you receive joy. That could be a good place to start. How do you know when you're happy? Is it because you sleep better? Do you know you're happy because you are laughing? Do you know you're happy because you're not online all day? Do you know
Mhm.
you're happy because you can feel it and your heart's jumping? What does happiness feel like for you? And then chase that feeling, even if it's for 24 hours. That's your pause. Even if it's for
Mhm.
24 hours, chase that high. Zell said,
Yes.
that's funny you said coloring. I pulled out some old school coloring books that I still have because I'm trying to figure out what brings me joy and happy now. I don't want to fall victim of despair. That's good. You don't have to fall victim. You can welcome it. I say to people all the time that despair has a seat at my dining room table. Pull up a seat, sit down, get very comfortable. Okay. Let me know what's not going to work. Let me know what no longer is there so that I can understand that I now have the space to put something there. Right. When we think about you have 10 things in front of you and then one thing's gone, guess what? Now you have room to put one thing back on. There's only so many things you could put on your plate.
Yes.
Sometimes that welcoming of despair is welcoming, whoo, child. I ain't got to deal with that shit no more. I never liked Sally at work anyway. So guess what? I got room not
Yes.
to think about Sally.
Yeah.
Yes, KY says she feels lighter overall. That's perfect. That's exactly what you
Outstanding.
want to go for. You
Yes.
want to understand that welcoming despair is grief and joy live in the same room. They're twin sisters. They're twin sisters, guys. Grief and joy are twin sisters. So wherever you find grief, her sister joy is very close behind. She's next door. She's right in there. She's asking to come into the room. There's
Yeah.
not a time and space to where you're in grief that joy doesn't exist. And the way that I was able to arrive at that conclusion was me asking my mom, mama, you lost your mom. I mean, you still with us. I ain't trying to wish death upon you. But like, how did you feel when you lost your mom?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
she the first thing she did was smile. And that took me back because my daddy, he ain't even in the ground yet. I'm like, how the fuck is she smiling over something like this? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
This was the most catastrophic thing of my life. But she smiled. And she told me a story of her and my grandma and how she used to spend the night over her auntie house. And her and my grandma had a rule. She used to tell her, if you don't want to be somewhere, you call me and your mama gonna pull up within 15 minutes. So she said that her auntie wouldn't let her watch a certain TV show, and she just decided she was over that shit. So she called, called my grandma. Mommy, come get me. Mama, come get me. And she was like, I was so young. She was like, it's back then when they had the little rotary phone. She said, and I remember, she was like, I didn't even get that. She's like, I felt like I didn't get the whole number down before she said, my mama picked up. And she was like, hey, baby. Hey, Cindy, what's going on? And she said, come get me. And my grandma told her, I'm on my way. And she told me that story and she was smiling. And then afterwards, and as she was smiling, she was crying and she went from crying to laughter. And I said, you know what? This seems like these two go together. And I started doing some deep dives about it. Y'all know me in my spiritual and religious studies. And I said, oh, that makes sense. Grief and joy, they come together. So
Mhm.
sometimes we're focusing, if you're a mother, sometimes you're focusing on one kid and not the other kid. You're like, oh shit, girl, you still here, aren't you? I did make you too. Come over here, get some love, right? Sometimes we can only focus on the grief. But if we pause and we look around and we chase our happy, we will find joy too. You'll be at home one day, you'll be cutting some onions, getting ready to make you some dinner, and you're like, you know what? I don't know why she laughed at me when I told her ass that she was doing wrong on this project. I ain't gonna never deal with her fat ass anymore. You could just laugh about it. I ain't gonna never see that fat ass woman again. And now you be like, you know what? I lost my job, but fuck them. You gonna figure out your joy is right there. There, I promise you, Zell. I
While
promise
you're
you,
while
it's
you're
right.
saying that, I'm thinking of a scripture when you say like they live like they're right there
Yeah,
together, hand in hand per se, because just like the scripture in Ecclesiastes, says it's a time to cry and a
yeah,
time to laugh, right? And they can, just like a seesaw, they can happen just that quick. So you just get to
yeah.
you're the one, your energy gets to decide Okay, where am I at today? And then sometimes it just hits you, right? It's like I didn't ask to be sad and cry about it. It just comes. But you get to be the seesaw, the energy in the middle, and say, okay, I'm it's time to switch. So let me go get into an activity. Let me go do this. While you're doing the activity, the tears could come again, but it keep continue to enjoy the activity, right? Because you're obviously the activity is bringing you right, and so
Yeah.
that's a why it's allowing you to go there and think. And then just like you said, when your mom was thinking of the good memories of her grandmother, that's always a things that I shared with you guys last time. When you're feeling down, go look at the pictures. And then in the world that we have today, we don't have to go get the boxes. You can just go to the little phone, right? And you can go to Google Photos and you can push on, like me, I could push on the picture of Nyla and all my granddaughter's pictures will come up. And that's definitely going to put a smile on my face. That's definitely going to bring the happy in my life. So, that's what I'm saying. Decide what it is for you and allow yourself to feel the feelings, but don't allow the feelings to take you out, right?
Yeah.
Especially if they're not positive ones, don't allow them to take you out. Say, okay, this is how I'm feeling. What are we going to do next? When you were asking me about protecting your peace, what are some things that you can do to protect your peace while staying productive? Because you could say, okay, I'm protect my peace, I'm about to just shut it down. Well, that's still not that's not bringing the productivity into your life, right? So with when it comes to protecting your peace and staying productive, define what negotiables, right? And putting up those boundaries when it comes to what are the non-negotiables, because I need to protect my peace. So this is what it's going to take for me to be able to be in a peaceful space, a peaceful state, right? And when it comes to those boundaries, one thing that you want to do is set boundaries around your time, around your energy, and around your mental space. You want to set those non negotiable boundaries around your time, your energy, and your mental space. Remember, I think it was last week when I was saying you need to have that conversation with your husband, like when you have an infant, and say, I need 30 minutes to myself once you get home. You tell me when that's going to happen because that's a non-negotiable. I need 30 minutes or I need an hour. If they get the older the child gets, okay, now you can take care of the child a little longer. So I need an hour. I need 2 hours. So
Yes.
as set those boundaries and say, this is what I need to be able to be at peace and to be able to get things done. So I'm letting you know I need an hour. Tell me what time that's going to be. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock. What time is that going to be? So make sure that you're doing those type of things when it comes to protecting your peace in order to stay productive.
And I want to talk to you guys about when we say the word protect your peace, right? You guys know me. I don't like pop therapy words too much. So I'm gonna tell you guys how I look at protection. And Eva, I saw your comment, and I pray to God that you're able to find peace. She said her dad passed in 1981, and the one thing that she does is she go to Dairy Queen for soft serve ice cream with sprinkles because that was a core memory that she had with her father. I think that's
Yes.
so good. My daddy used to call it Miller moments, and we will get the three ice cream, the strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate with a piece of chocolate cake. Now I hate chocolate cake, but I will eat it now. I ate it for his birthday this year. But the word protection, when we talk about protect your peace, I want you guys to understand that protection means fight. A lot of us get uncomfortable with the idea of boundaries and protection of peace because we are non confrontational. And I want you guys to know that the idea to protect anything requires confrontation. We be saying that these niggas need to be protectors and providers. When we talk about protection, I need you to get the gap. Okay, I need for you to be ready to pop some off and some shit. I need for you to protect Queen Bee. Okay, that's what the hell I need. So protection means that you are willing to fight for it, right? And peace is God, and whoever y'all pray to, y'all know how I feel about that. However y'all God is, protection means fight and you're willing to fight for the God that's within inside of you. You're willing to fight for that. It may get confrontational. That saying, don't push me there,
Yeah. You know
I'm
what, Sin? Let me say something. Let me say something real quick. With of course, it's so true. Like you said, I consider myself. I was a non-confrontational person. My daughter considered herself a non-confrontational person when we had children,
yeah,
because I'm protecting my babies, right? And it was
right.
so funny because she was talking to me on the phone and she was like, Mom, I had to tell the doctor, da, 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 da. And I was like, really? I was like, you had all that to say with all that attitude? Really? And she was like, what? And I was like, it's when you became a mom. I noticed that you speak up and you don't have a problem with confrontation when it comes to protecting yours. So we have to think of ourselves in the same way. We'll do it for our children, but we may not do it for ourselves, right? Just like you're saying, yes, most definitely. And then once again, like I said, I used to consider myself non-confrontational. I also consider myself a lover and not a fighter, right? But a lover has to know how to fight.
Yeah. And when, right? And this
I
is
mean,
important.
I may not give myself that title because that's not my nature initially. But as a lover, I have to know that I have to be able to fight. I may not be a fighter. May not be the one to throw the first punch, but I'm not gonna beat me up. I'm not gonna stand here and
You
take
gotta
it,
know
right?
how, and
Yes,
you will. That's what y'all
yes.
gotta know. Y'all have to know
I
how
know.
to fight, and I
And
know I will. I will
and
fight for mine
and win. And
and
win.
win. Right? So
Yes.
protecting your peace, a lot of times it may come, boundaries are cute. And they are very cute. You can say, if they do this, then I'll do this. And, I'm going to tell people ahead of time. It's really not the setting of boundaries that's uncomfortable, it's the enforcement.
Yes.
It's not the
Mhm,
setting, right?
mhm.
I bet you all can give me a boundary right now. What's one boundary y'all have in your life? Go ahead and type it out. Go ahead and type out one boundary you have in your life. Now that's a boundary. I'll give you an example. One of the boundaries I have at Black on the Job is you are not allowed to get a resume with us without speaking to somebody. That's a boundary I have. Now, will I enforce it? Will I not take money? Yes. Will I refund you if you tried to pay for a resume and didn't want to do the consultation? Yes, I will enforce my boundary, no matter what that sacrifice looks like. And that's the uncomfortability you got to sit in.
Yes.
Whatever boundary you have, will you enforce it? That's
Mhm.
protecting your peace. That's where the peace comes. That's a peace beyond all understanding. It's like, no, I need an hour a day. And you know what? If I come up in this house and I told them my hours from 6 to 7, and at 6:05, somebody come running up to me, tell me I need help, I'm willing to pick up my car keys and be like, okay, I'll take this hour outside.
Whatever it takes. That's
Whatever
right.
it takes.
Yeah, because you're protecting your peace.
You're willing to
Yes.
protect
If
it.
you give me this out, if you give me this hour, I'm giving you 18. I'm giving you 12. So you need this. It's non-negotiable. That's what I'm saying. It's non-negotiable. It's no discussion. The discussion is at what hour, or like you said, the discussion is 6 or 7. Which one you want?
Right. You
6
can
or
you can
7
negotiate.
before dinner or after dinner? Which one?
Right. You can negotiate, but you don't have to compromise. You can come to an understanding, but you don't have to compromise. That's what protecting your peace looks like. So that protection comes with you saying enforcement. How will you enforce it? And give
Yeah.
yourself that time to think about it, right? It doesn't have to be aggressive, right? But it can absolutely be
Yes.
assertive. You can stand your ground. I tell people all the time, I want to run folks over for mine. But I ain't got to. You could move to the side. You know what I'm saying? You could lay down flat and I walk over it, right? Or you can stand right there and I'm a bulldoze your ass.
Oh, I love K-Ways. I love K-Ways. One non-negotiable that no one is coming over my house unannounced, regardless of who they are. Respect my peace and home by communicating prior to your arrival.
Hmm. So
That's
now
that's
you
one.
need to
Many
figure
people
out
have
what
that.
your non-negotiable boundaries are. She said she knows
Saying
her boundaries for other people, but she needs to figure out what is her non-negotiable boundaries.
yes, and that's right. No, none of us can tell you what your non-negotiable. That's why I said that's some of the work that we're gonna do is knowing yourself,
Yeah.
because you have to, when somebody does something that you do not like, bam, there's a non-negotiable, right?
Oh,
So you have to.
or Zell, no. Let me tell you something, Zell. I will answer you from the Ring camera and let you know I'm not available. I didn't say I was at home. Zell, what you say is that you're not available. I'm not
Yeah.
available at this moment. When people call
Hmm.
my phone, I'm gonna let y'all know my phone is not on Do Not Disturb. It rarely ever is. Because when I answer my phone, I ask people if they had an appointment. The only person who don't get that response is my sister and my mother. Anybody else, if I was not expecting your call, why are you calling me? So hey, what's up? Did you make an appointment? Stan, this is your best friend. I get that. Did you make an appointment? No, you didn't
Oh,
make no appointment? Okay. Is this an emergency or is this a vintage? Can this wait till later on? That's what yeah, yeah. Now, if a good pop up, yeah, and stopping by, you got to that's something that would be communicated, right, Harvey? You would say, hey, I'm the kind of person that like to pop up, and I'll tell you, oh, girl, you can pop up on my house any Tuesday or Thursday. Wednesdays are very heavy for me, and so is Monday. But, girl, as long as you let me know an hour ahead of time on a Tuesday or Thursday, we're good to go. That's that communication, right? If that's the kind of
hmm.
person you are, state that. You know who you are. You a good pop-up person.
You
Pop-ups are
know, it's so that's why I said the same way that you know other people, right? Your children, your spouse, your mother, the same way you know them, you have to know you. You have to know you first, because like I know my friend. I have one friend that I know she's up at 5 a.m. So if I need to text somebody or ask somebody something, I can text AJ 5 a.m. Bam, the answer is coming back. And she knows that about me. I'm up at 4 a.m. Because in our friend group, in
yeah.
that group, that right there, there's four families, 4 men, 4 women, and so we know, don't text Lynn. Do not text Lynn at 5 a.m. because you're not going to hear from her. And when we do put a text in the group text, we hear from everybody in a row. We know Christy, AJ, Joyce, and Lynn will bring up the rear. But when it comes to nighttime conversation, we can find Joyce and we can find Lynn, but we're not going to find AJ because AJ is in bed at 8 p.m. She cutting it off, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it means when because I respect them, love them, know them, I know how to interact when it comes to that. So once you know you and you put it out there, anybody who goes opposite of something that you've already let them know, then that's a lack of respect on their part. And so now you're letting me know who you are in my life, or where I put you on the on the grading chart.
Right.
Not to say I won't still love you, but I'm well aware of that you're not respecting my
And that's
boundaries.
when we enforce how we decide to enforce our boundaries. Victoria said she trained her family to ask if they have if she has emotional capacity before they dump. You know what, Victoria? That's a very good rule. I tell you one thing that I've added a layer to that is that I do not allow people to dump on me. You cannot come to me with your emotional issues. What you can do is you could come to me with your emotional issues and two different solutions that you're trying to come out of. So you know what, since I lost my job, I don't know what I'm gonna do. A portion of me is thinking about going back into you know uh, customer service, but another portion of me is thinking about project management, and I just don't know. That I can work with. But if you just
Mhm.
come to me with you know what, saying I just lost my job and I don't know what to do, shit, and neither do I. Shit, I don't give a damn. Man, neither do I. I don't know. I'm not. No, that's abusive. I consider that abuse, and you cannot abuse me that way. You have to come with information on the situation. If you come with
Mhm.
information on the situation, I can always strategize with you. I'm a very big component of strategy, solutions, compassion requires action, right? So I can't be compassionate towards you and do some type of action if I don't know what you've done before. Because usually what
Yeah.
happens is that you start giving solutions and they start knocking that down. Well, I've already tried that. And well, what the fuck are you coming to me for? You know what I mean? You're frustrated with it and you can't be as effective as you really want to be. So you got to come to me with information on the situation. I am
And
never your bent friend. And y'all know that even if you inbox me a 10-page story of your career stuff, I immediately message you back. I can't read all that. Give me what solutions you're looking for and the hard hitting points because I'm not going to go down your emotional journey with you. This ain't Disneyland and this is not a ride. My brain is not a space for you to just ride up and down the emotional roller. We can go through it together, but I'm not doing this with you. That's personal. That's
yeah.
between God.
It's just like when my with my mom, which it's so hilarious to me. She has had a situation and she's sharing, Christy, da-da-da-da-da-da," and I'm the oldest and I'm the one that's got it together, this, that, whatever. Christy, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da," and I just let her go because I know she want to get it out. I don't have a problem with listening, right? When she's finished and she's like, what I don't know what to do. And I said, Mom, do you want me to share with you what you should do? And she just paused because she knows I was like, because I know the answer. But are
Right.
you prepared? Are you prepared for what it is I'm going to, because after I tell you, I don't want to hear it no more because you're making a choice either to put it in place or not. And so she was like, no, nope, I don't want to know right now. She was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Because she knows that whatever it is I'm going to tell her is gonna be heavy for her to receive and then have to put it into action. So literally we hung up from that conversation. I'm telling you, 48 hours later, okay, I'm ready. What? Because she knew herself. She knew she wasn't ready to hear it. It was going to be like, getting a smack on the hand and by me. But so she calls me back and she's like, okay, I'm ready. What do I need to do?
See? And you
See,
have
so
your friends. You have your friends that will vent with you. You have your
yes.
friends.
Yeah.
You have a friend that's
Mm-hmm.
in the bed with you. Victoria, you and I on the same spot. We gonna have to figure you have to come with me a little bit more because my anxiety is too high.
Yeah.
So knowing yourself, like Dr. Christy said, is important.
Mm-hmm.
This is beautiful. I really like we said, first step is pause, figuring out what that joy looks like for you, right?
Yeah.
Understanding what
Mm-hmm.
makes you happy and who you are is going to change as experiences changes. Who you are and what you do are two different things. The job loss, a parent loss, those losses change who you are. I will absolutely say that losing my dad has changed me forever. It's not, look, it's completely changed me,
It's an
and it's changed.
experience.
Yeah, because it's an experience that I went through, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
with that, understand that the job loss may have changed you, and so you don't know who you are anymore, and that's okay if you don't know who you are anymore. That's
Sin. And
okay.
you always ask me, okay, what's the last something you have to say? I may say something after this, depending upon if you say something to me. But off of what you just said, when we talk about getting to know yourself, and because we're forever changing, we're growing.
Yeah.
When you do know yourself, stand on business.
Yes.
When you do know yourself, stand on that. Don't allow anyone to knock you over, push you down, push you to the side, or oh, that's not important right now, right? No, yes, it is. I said this is who I am. This is what I know
Yeah.
me, and I know me, and I'm not interested in that. I know
And that's
me, and
the
no, I
fourth
don't want you
thing.
to knock on. I know I don't want you to knock on my door randomly. I know me. You're not going to
Yes.
get the best of me. You're not going to get the best of me. So I suggest you listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to the words that are coming.
And you know what? And that's how you protect your peace is by standing up for who you are, all parts of you. It's okay. It's okay if right now you are lost. It's okay if right now you're like, you know what? I know that I don't know anything. It's too much for me. Everything's overwhelming. The only thing I want to do is sleep, take you a nap. As long as you time bound it. That's how you. And another thing is that we have to understand that a portion of us, even if you don't think it consciously, subconsciously, until you get over it. A portion of you is disappointed in yourself. Even though you weren't the person in control of your outcome sometimes, it's a portion of us that is disappointed in ourselves. And just like if you were disappointed in somebody, right? They broke a trust. And so building back that trust with yourself is one of the most important portions of your journey. And how you do that is you give yourself those time bounds. How you build trust is through discipline and keeping your word. So, you know what? I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm going to take me a nap. But when I get up, I'm going to do the laundry. Or when I get up, I'm going to take a shower today. And you make that small promise to yourself. That's how you get to know yourself again. Is that's how you do that. It's because you're not going to show yourself to someone that you don't trust, right? So that means a portion of you is hiding from you because a portion of you is disappointed in yourself. When my dad died, I was disappointed in myself. Why? I didn't internalize the whole thing. Like maybe I should have moved him out here. You know, he didn't want to move out here, but I should have forced it. I could have tried harder. I'm going through the should have, could have, would have. That's okay. I'm not going to lie and say that's not how I feel. I'm disappointed in myself right now. But the cure for that is that, you know what? I got to give myself some small promises I can keep. I went a whole 5 days, no shower, depressed, right? I said, you know what? Tomorrow morning when I get up, I'm going to take a shower. I remember I did not get in that shower till 11:57 a.m. And I was so happy that Saturday I cried because I kept that promise to myself. I was in that shower before that noon hit, before afternoon hit. So if that's all the promise I can make for myself, that's a promise I kept for myself. And I kept building on that promise. That's how I learned myself. That's how I got excited to try new things. And you know what? We always want to try gardening. We can do it. You know, I know we can do it, right?
And just remember too that disappointment is just an opportunity for a reappointment. Disappointment is just an opportunity for a reappointment. That appointment is no longer available for you, is no longer an option for you, but you can always make a new appointment, right?
Yeah. And I get it, Zell. You know, you could feel lost. It's okay. And the good thing about it is that I like to validate, as we say, my current situation. Maybe you're not feeling lost. Maybe you are lost. Maybe it's a state of being. Maybe you are really lost right now. And it's not the feeling you feel is maybe afraid. Maybe you are
Yeah.
overwhelmed because you are lost. You know what? I am lost. And I'm having a hard time because I am lost, I feel hopeless. Because I am
Hmm.
lost, I feel that right there, being honest with yourself, right? That's how we build back that trust. It's because, you know, feelings are not always, when we say that we feel some type of way, it's no validity in that. You know, they try to say that feelings are valid, but you have to, there's no validity in that. Announce your truth to yourself. I am lost. I am lost right now. And because I am lost, I feel scared. I don't know where to go. I'm feeling anxious. I'm overwhelmed. I'm damn near hopeless. I am in a state of loss. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Look, let me share this quick one with you. So when you're lost, it gives you an opportunity to map it out.
Exactly.
When you acknowledge that you're lost, right? And I will repeat the disappointment phrase. K-Ways, give me one moment. But yeah, when you're lost, it's an opportunity for you to map it out, right? Just map it out, because I was a soldier and they would drop me in the middle of the woods and they gave me a map. Guess what? I am a Los Angeles city girl. Before there was Google Maps, before there was this, before there was that, I learned how to get places by markers. Well, guess what? When you drop me in the middle of the woods, the markers are all the trees that look the same. And they done gave me this map, and I'm like, what is this? There's no street names, there's no this, there's no that. They gave me latitude and longitude lines. What? So I felt lost when they dropped me out in the middle of the woods, but I had to pause in the dark.
Mm.
When you're feeling lost, you could be in the dark, but they give me that map and I had to map it out. I had to get out there. I had to put my latitude and longitude, put the little numbers over to the side and map it out and say, okay, like just like Sen said, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I need to do. These are I'm going to do these two today. I'm gonna do this one today. If just one thing on the list, right? If it's just one thing on the list, small steps, right? We said small actionable items, small wins. Celebrate your small win, and then tomorrow you wake up and you'll do two,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And Dale,
So,
as
mhm,
Dr. Christie said, that allowed her to, instead of her thinking, I feel lost in these woods, it's her affirming, I am lost. Because what happens is with your brain has subconscious triggers. The moment you
yeah,
agree and you acknowledge your current state, I am lost, your brain's gonna start moving towards solutions. Okay, so how the fuck do I get found? Do I gotta find myself?
exactly,
Someone gonna come find me? All right, let me
exactly.
figure this out. But as long as we feel
Sin, why, Sin, why were they about to send the helicopter to come find
it,
me? Because it was getting too dark. It was getting too
I'm
dark. They were like,
telling
"Oh
you,
Lord, this girl's still out there somewhere."
holidays, understand how you feel versus where you're at, right? Are you lost or do you feel lost? You get what I'm saying? Because what is really a feeling of loss? You may actually be lost. And so you feel like despair is coming. Those two things are different. I know it seems like a small thing, but it's a huge thing because your brain, okay, I'm lost. Okay, so that means I need to figure my way out. That's what's going to get there, right? That's what's going to get there. Okay. I'm happy this helped you, Zell. So we are looking forward for our class with Dr. Christy. Now y'all know y'all can get your planner and y'all can sign up right there on the website. We got it linked at the bottom. Your class starts in a few Tuesday. What, next Tuesday?
Yes, and I had a few people that were sending me. I had a few people that signed up to get some information on my birthday. I told you guys I was out. I let everybody else be out. I let everybody just chill and celebrate with me. But I got those emails to you today. So if you open up your email, the invitation to sign up is there. And if you add your name to the list today, I'll make sure you get those first thing in the morning. So yes, we are so excited. I need to get my journal and make sure because I'm excited about that journal
Yes,
too.
I remember.
Having it all accessible in one place so that when you after our time together, when you need to refer back to something, just open it right back up,
Yes.
and there we
I remember
are.
it's right there on the
All of those
website. Yes,
statements.
and I'm putting on it while you talk. I'm gonna put it
Hmm.
right up here so y'all can see it. Go ahead.
Yes, and then just like with the one we shared today, you guys can add that to it. Disappointment is an opportunity for reappointment,
Yes,
right?
yes. There you go. And I wrote it for you too, K-Way. Yes, disappointment is a time for reappointment. I am very excited, guys. 6 weeks, get your accountability partners. You have more conversations like this to navigate. How do we get through crises? How can we be well during this time, right? This is that time. And Jennifer, I send my deepest condolences. My deepest condolences. You know? Yes, Jennifer, she said, understanding how you feel versus where you're at. It's such a big difference.
Yes.
Jennifer, last week I
Hmm.
had discussed the difference between feeling disappointment and the entire framework of disappointment, right? Because disappointment, they love to tell you, is unmet expectation, but they don't finish it because someone didn't keep their word, right? So it's not on you. You could feel pissed off, sad, depressed. You could be frustrated because someone placed you in a space of disappointment. Just like a job loss, someone could have placed you in a space of disappointment. So truly how you feel might be deeply saddened, anguish, despair, depressed, right? Sad. You could be frustrated, right? You may be in a state of disappointment, meaning that you have unmet expectations because someone didn't keep their word. And so, because of the framework you put me in, this is how I'm feeling now. And that sometimes helps a lot more because when we say things like, I feel lost, there is no solution for that because no one can truly, I feel lost. We don't know if you really are lost. Is this just, or do you feel brain fog? Are things just not cloudy, right? Once we really start to, and it's okay to say where you are.
Peel
Yeah,
the
we got to
onion.
peel that back, right? And say, this is where I'm at. And because of that, this is what's
Hmm.
going on. But knowing where you are at makes a big difference. When
Yep.
I was speaking to people when my dad died, I was very clear on that. Oh, no, I am in a state of grief, but right now I feel happy. I'm in the state frame of grief. I
Yeah.
am still in grief, quite honestly, God. I am deep in the state of grief. I
Yeah.
miss my father dearly. I mourn daily. I'm also happy and joyous. And so I also get frustrated, and sometimes I'm angry, and sometimes I'm tired. I am still in the state of grief though. He just passed away as far as I'm concerned. It's still very new for me, but I am in the state of grief.
Just like
Go
just like that example of the map, just like that example that I was talking about of a map, like you said, when you go to the map, you need to be able to pinpoint where you are. Just like Sin is saying, how go
ahead.
ahead and say I'm sad. Go ahead and say I'm this. You pinpoint where you are, and then you can that allows you to decide, figure out where the directions are that you need to go. Right?
Mm,
Accepting and decide and saying out loud this is where I am right now. So on that map, this is where I am right now. And right there, if that map has me in New York, right? I know that if my destination is California, then I have to go west, and I'm going to be going west for quite a while.
mm.
How you feel or where you are or how whatever, despair, disappointment, sadness, hurt, whatever it may be, once you're able to pinpoint where it is that you are now, then that will start the beginning of the process of where it is you need to go, how it is you can get there, the different options. Are you going to fly? Are you going to get on the train? Are you going to drive? How much gas do you need? How much money I need to get this flight? What time the flight is going to depart? Or on a map, you put it. Once you decide where you are and pinpoint, know who you are and where you are, that will help you start the process of getting to where it is you need to go.
And where you want to go. I promise you guys,
Yes.
it really was a very big difference for me. I realized that a lot of times it's just dealing with people, because people love to try to tell you how you feel, and sometimes the state of your environment and how you feel could be completely different. You could be in the state of disappointment and be completely angry. You disappointed me, and now I'm hot as fuck. Like they said, playing with my emotions is like playing with my money. You know what I'm saying? You playing with my emotions like playing with my money. So you disappointed me. I'm not disappointed, baby. I am in the state of disappointment, but oh no, I'm angry. You didn't play with my emotions and my money. I'm angry. I am rageful, right? Think about somebody gaslighting you. You know how these niggas be doing? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am disappointed that you did this.
That
Oh,
is
absolutely.
this
But
is
I'm
so
not.
sin. This is so sin. Or you could be hurt. Look, you see how you got you got apples and oranges over here. You got black and white.
Because
You
I
could be
get mad.
hurt.
When I get mad, it ain't nothing to do about what you put me in. You could have put me in a bad scenario, right? Disappointment is a bad scenario. I call it putting somebody in a minefield. You didn't put me in this minefield. There's some shit blowing up all around me. And I know you may feel disappointed. And I'm so sorry you feel that way. Don't act, how I feel is not important right now. What I need for you to understand is this, right? And that's how you also have accountability metrics. I promise you guys, you may have you may have disappointed yourself, and you're not dealing with that fake disappointment, because feelings can fool you. So you may feel like, oh my gosh, I'm disappointed in myself. So that's where that one small win will come in. Okay. So we'll see Dr. Christy next Tuesday in class for our Be Mindful. Make sure y'all get y'all journals, and remember that it's okay to be lost. It's okay. It's okay to say I'm lost. Practice I am statements this week instead of I feel. First, figure out where you are. I am lost. I am angry. I am upset. I am disappointed. I am frustrated. Then think about how you feel, right? And then when it comes to overwhelm and anxiety, ask yourself, is this a bunch of things piled up at once? And so I feel overwhelmed? Or do I have uncertainty and I don't know when this is going to end? I don't know when I'm going to get my answer, and I feel uncomfortable and there's no end in sight. Okay, I am anxious right now. This is anxiety. This is anxiety. I thought I was overwhelmed, but I'm actually anxious, because once you do that, then you know what tools to put in place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And make sure that if anyone out there is interested, that they go ahead and put their email on
Sign up sheets. Yes.
that link And I'll make sure I get the email to you, the more information for you to come follow up on that.
Yes, guys, get your journal, sign up for our Be Well program, be mindful, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys. Bye, Dr. Chris.